It says right before the arrival of Christ, there's going to be more evil than good. So you agree with that. I like that. That was great, man.
Let me ask you a question. When Christ comes to this world, what's he coming to do?
The Bible says he's coming to get rid of disobedient people, humans.
And you think that that's good?
Well, the reason why I say that is good is this. We must have law. And those
Why must we have law? Why must we have law?
Well, at the same time, laws are being broken and we have people who are being bribed. People in high positions are bribed.
Bro, but animals don't got no laws and they still survive on their own. They actually get messed up when human beings get involved. So why do we need laws?
No. See, the reason why, because humans are different. See, if you was living on earth by yourself, you wouldn't need a law. But now, since you're living with a group of people, we need rules on what we need, how we need to treat each other. That's only logical.
Well, but why do we need rules? Why don't you just do whatever you want to and suffer the consequences? How about that?
Well, that's just you can do that now. No one's stopping you right now. You
okay, so whoever made those laws? Who gave them the right to make laws?
Well, according to history, you have people who were born before you. All of this is just passed down. People who were born before you, like your parents. See, since you came in their family, you're automatically under their control. It's almost like the people who are over you are people who were older than you. This is
so what happens? What happens when I get old enough and I don't want to follow the rules no more?
Well, you can just become a rebel. You can do that now. You can go against all rules.
Guess what? That's what we're doing right now against the system that created colonialism, that created slavery, right? We are rebelling against that system, rebelling against their education, rebelling against their legacy because we want to rewrite our own history, especially as Black Africans, right? We don't want anything that came out of the legacy of colonization and slavery. I mean anything, including their Jesus and including their God. We don't want anything like that.
So you want just Black people. So if you have say of just dark skin, so you want all dark colored people to come together, no matter if they're Muslim, just if they're dark colored, you want them to come together. That's what you're saying?
Come together with the understanding that what we have in common is what we are as flesh and blood creatures, not what we have as our personal beliefs in imaginary gods, right? So if you're going to claim that something is true, you better bring real evidence, unquestionable evidence, and the evidence should be so true you don't have to open your mouth. If you don't got evidence that is so true you don't have to open your mouth, then guess what? We are all dark-skinned and we can all see that without even talking to each other. So let's protect each other from that perspective, right? Not from the perspective of a Muslim who calls Africans pagans because they say Africans got multiple gods. Bro, Muslims and Christians can't even unite with nobody. Look at the history.
You're right. Now listen, I do understand your point because there are so many different religions on earth right now. Everybody's arguing, and all the religions come from books. Everything that you and I are reading are in books. So right now we're arguing over information that are older than all of us. So neither one of us could prove our point because we weren't there at the time. So right now it seems that religions are causing a lot of confusion among mankind because
it ain't just religions, bro. But check this out, bro. It ain't really just religions. It's beliefs. So it seems like check this out, bro. Check this out. This is what I'm trying to say about that. It seems like the human species hasn't been educated to the level where people understand that you're not supposed to act based on beliefs. You're not supposed to make decisions based on beliefs. You're supposed to make decisions based on knowledge. So whatever you believe, if what you believe doesn't lead you to knowledge that is tangible, and then that knowledge now leads you to make actions, then you shouldn't believe in anything. In fact, it's best not to believe. The more serious something is, because the more you believe, the more you are likely to be wrong. Because belief is something you go based on hope, which is something that is based on expectations. Expectations are never certain because expectation is what you wish would happen. So you see, people who believe that Jesus Christ is God.
I understand what you're saying. When you see, that's one definition of belief. You see, that's one definition.
No, that's the only definition of belief in English. There's only one English language and define beliefs as when a person decides to accept something as truth. Right?
Yeah,
so
see, I understand what you're saying. And a lot of people have what you call I'm gonna say they have things that's passed down to them. They're only doing things that by tradition. So a lot of people beliefs comes from the traditions that were passed down to them. So I understand what you're saying. And so
no, it's not just a lot of people. It's everybody in this world, and very few. Even me, I'm in a constant battle with my beliefs. That's why I tell people that I believe nothing. Why? Because what my beliefs are is like my poop. This is how I describe belief. Belief is mental poop. Just the same way that you check this out. Hold on, bro.
Hold up, sir. Listen.
Hold on, let me finish this point, bro.
You have to believe in something.
Beliefs are like mental poop, right? Yeah, just like when you shit, you don't take your shit and go advertise it to people. Mm-hmm. You throw your shit away because it's waste. Now your shit got used. Why? Because your shit is whatever is left over from the food that you consume, and then your body will digest that food, take out the useful nutrients, because the useful nutrients is called knowledge, but the shit is called belief, right? So when your five senses, when you receive information through your five senses, your brain is going to digest that information, right? Then the useful information is going to be what you can do, right? For example, you go to school, you learn how to be a carpenter, you can be a carpenter. It's not that you believe that you can be a carpenter. No, you can actually do carpentry. You go learn how to drive a truck. It's not that you believe that you're a truck driver.
Can I say something now?
No, hold on, let me finish. It's not that you believe that you can drive a truck, it's that you can actually drive a truck. A pilot doesn't believe that he can be a pilot. A pilot is a pilot because he knows how to fly the plane. He can back it up anytime you ask him to, right? Meanwhile, believe, when your brain collects all that information, your brain will digest that information, and the shit part of that information is waste. That's called beliefs. Because those beliefs is information. Bro, hold up, bro. Those beliefs is information which have no place in reality independently. They can only come into reality through your imagination. That is why your belief needs to stay in your head until you can make that belief a manifestation. So until you can bring Jesus here, don't claim that Jesus is real, bro. Because the only thing you're doing is acting like you're a madman.
Can I say something now? All right, now.
Hold on, bro. Okay. You can say something if you can tell me what I just said.
Yeah, you said so much. I just want to elaborate on it. Can I?
No, bro. Hold on, bro. I was doing 2-minute sessions, bro. You got to tell me what I just said. You got to tell me what I just said.
You're talking so much. I understand you say about beliefs and things like that. The only thing I was just going to say was
hold on, bro. Don't tell me what you were going to say if you can't tell me what I said. Because if you can't tell me what I just said, that means you weren't listening to me, and it is only fair that I don't listen to you in return. What did I just say, good brother?
To you, man, but you're talking so fast and ranting on so much like a crazy damn man.
All right, so I will respectfully end the conversation right here because you've proven that you were not listening, right? Thank you for your time, brother.
You insane. Bye, bro.
Thank you for your brother.
Look at that. It's easy. I just want to say something. You want to say something, but you're not listening to what I'm saying. Why should I listen to you? Why should I listen to someone who is not listening to me? Ladies and gentlemen, tap the screen, tap the screen. We are not at 100,000 likes. What is going on here? What is going on here? Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Bamboozle the screen. Tap the screen. This is not free. It will only cost you to tap the screen. That's it. Now, if you don't want to tap the screen, you can always send me money to my Cash App, especially if you're a Christian. But if you don't want to send me money, tap the screen. Tap the screen, y'all. Tap the screen. Thank you. Next guest. 2 minutes. I'm giving you less than 2 minutes, as a matter of fact. But go straight to your point because there's multiple guests in line. And if I give you more time to abuse it, I'm just going to block you. There is no God. There never has been. It's time for people to wake up. People haven't been waking up because people like me have not been stepping up. But I am now stepping up. I am here to clean the house up. This ain't no more believing show. This is now the knowing show. If you don't know what you know is what you know, then don't come up and talk to us and don't be spreading your belief around. We want you to spread your knowledge, right? Go out into the world and spread your knowledge. Keep your belief to yourself because belief is mental waste. Belief is mental shit. Go ahead, my brother. What you got? Go straight to your point. You got less than 2 minutes.
The government said there's no God. Like, we should all believe in God, but they don't know that there's a source of life. You know, the sun. The sun is the source of life. You know,
the sun is not the source of life.
There's a source, bro. There's a source. There's gonna be a source of this.
Okay,
life.
Listen. Tell me, bro. What is the source of the source?
I don't know, but there's going to be a source of the source. So that's what you said yourself.
If you can't tell me what the source of the source is, then there is no source. There's only an infinite regression. Nothing really is the source. Everything comes from something else, and nothing is absolute enough to be the source, right? When you live in an infinite regression, nothing is absolute enough to be the source because everything comes from something. Nothing is the only thing that can be the source. Nothingness. So unless nothingness. Go ahead.
Okay, hold on. The thing you said when we die, there's that's all. When human die, that's all. Which means you don't even understand. We are energy.
No, we are not energy. And I'm willing to bet you $1,000 right now. You don't even know the meaning of the definition energy. And that's what I'm gonna do, bro. Tell me, what does energy mean in accordance with the English language? If you don't know, I'm gonna go on to the next guest. What does energy mean?
To be honest, energy sounds like a soul, like, you know.
No, bro. Give me the definition of energy. If you don't know energy, bro, you can go. You can step down.
Hold on. If we die, we incarnate to another body.
Bro, what is energy, my brother? What is energy? The definition.
Energy is something that can neither be created or destroyed, bro. Like,
bro,
come on.
That is not the definition of energy. That is one of the qualities of energy based on what we learn in school. But what is the definition of energy? If you don't know it, bro, why did you bring it up? Why did you bring something up that you don't even know the definition, bro? That's insane.
We can't be created.
Bro, what is the definition of energy according to the English language?
That's the definition of energy according to the English language, man.
What is it?
It can neither be created nor destroyed.
You're wrong. Thank you for your time, bro. Go and learn, and when you learn, you can come back and talk with me.
Okay. I know I'm wrong. What is the definition of?
If y'all gonna bring up a word that you don't know the meaning, please do me a favor and educate yourself first before you come back here. English is not a language that your grandfather invented. Your grandfather did not invent English. So don't come up here and start making up your own meaning for words. We are speaking a language that we all want to gain understanding from, so don't make up your own meaning. Simple as that. When you imagine the meaning, when you get the meaning of
everything you think using that word is also wrong. That's what y'all don't know.
Hello?
What's going on, man? Straight to your point.
I'm good. My question is, why are you doing all this, man? Why are you?
Because I can, and you can't stop me.
I know I can't stop you, but why do you go about telling people that there's no God? Like, come on, man.
Because it's true, and you can't argue with it. If you don't like it, you can cry about it.
I don't need to cry about it, because...
oh, well, you're crying about it right now.
All I want to tell you, bro, is... if you...
I can't hear you, man. I'm going to give you 5 seconds.
Jesus is actually real. Jesus is actually real.
Hold on. Did you just say to me that Jesus is real?
Stuff in this life that
Did you just say to me that Jesus is real?
Is real, man.
Let me ask you something, right? Just answer my question. What was his race? Was he black or white?
Okay, so Jesus was a dark skin.
No. Hold on. I said, was he black or white? I don't want a sentence. I don't want an explanation. I just want you to say black or say white. Was he black or white?
He was black.
Why is his name White?
The white.
Hold on. You say he was black. If Jesus was black, why is his name White?
So the Jesus name is actually in Jewish name of Jesus is actually Yeshua. Okay. So
brother, listen to me again. Listen. I'm asking you. If Jesus was black, why is his name White?
So the Bible is only just open for people that are spiritually their eyes.
If Jesus is black, why was his name White, bro? If you can't answer me, I have to go to the next guest, bro. Just tell me why is his name White? Why is the name of a black man White, bro? In Africa, we don't translate names. We don't convert our names to white names in order to recognize ourselves. If Jesus was a black man, I should be hearing some type of African name, So why is his name Yeshua? Is not even an African name. It's not even an Ethiopian name. It's not even a Sudanese name. Eh? Yeshua doesn't have anything to do with black people's names. We don't know anybody among our tribes who's called Yeshua. So tell me, if Jesus was black, why is his name white? Greek.
So
Greek.
does
Jesus
it
is a
mean
Greek
the only
word.
black people are all Africans? Is that what
Thank
you
you for your
mean?
time. Thank you for your time, buddy. You can't answer my question. Go and learn. When you
Like, I'm
finish
trying
learning,
to
you can
answer
come
your
back.
question. You're just like not even letting me speak at all. Like,
Why will I
I'm
let
trying
you
to
speak
answer
when
the
you don't know what you're
question.
talking about? You
I know
couldn't
what
answer
I'm
my
talking
question, and
about.
it's been more than 2 minutes.
You just coming on here and just speaking all shitty stuff.
Go straight to your point. If you don't go,
Shall be removed. This is a no compromise zone. Today is a no compromise day. I have come to Bakangalize.
Hey,
Listen to
bro.
me, fellow human beings. I am here to Bakangalize. You will be Bakangalized. I am the Bakangalator. Your brain will be reorganized until it becomes nothingness.
Hey,
And you
bro.
would learn and you would grow and you will have a much more quality human experience. I'm here to increase the quality of your human experience, to remove the disease of belief that is within your head. And you need to stop treating people based on beliefs, right? So go straight to your point, brother. You got less than 2 minutes. What you got for me?
Hey, bro. How you doing?
I'm chilling, man. What's cooking?
Man, bro, there's actually God, you know,
When you say there
and
is actually God, where is that God? In your head or somewhere else?
bro, in my head, bro.
If God is in your head, then me and you have no argument. Good job today, sir. I hope you and the God that lives in your head are having a good day today. I hope you guys are enjoying yourself. Are you enjoying yourself?
Sure, my bro.
Fantastic, my brother. You and I, we are friends. We can hang out because I know that God is in your head, and you also know that God is in your head, and that's the only place where God is. Why should I argue with you? Why should I fight you? It's whatever is in your head is in your head. It's not like I'm gonna get up with you and say, "Hey, you didn't have a dream last night." If you told me that you had a dream last night, guess what? I won't even argue with you. Because your dream is only in your head. And like you have said, God is only in your head, bro. I can respect that God. I have no problem respecting the God that only lives in your head because we don't need to fight about it. So, bro, whatever you have to say, no need to say it. Thank you so much. Much respect to you. Have a great day, okay?
Okay, bro.
Facts. Go straight to your point, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bakangala zone, the Bakangalization zone.
Yeah.
What's going on, bro?
So why do you say evil is greater than good?
Because everybody dies and everything dies.
And your point?
The point is do you think death is a good thing?
Everybody dies. It's inevitable.
Do you think that death is a good thing? Yes or no?
Well, it depends on the
Do you
situation.
think that death is a good thing? Yes or no? Please answer me, my dear friend. Please, is death
Everybody
a good thing? Yes
dies.
or no?
Why are you talking about
Please,
death? I'm talking about
just tell me, is
evil
death
here.
a good thing?
You're
Yes or
changing the
no?
subject.
All right. Thank you for your time, okay, buddy? I'm not playing this game. Sorry.
God be with you.
A small question. That means that your mind has been over Bakangalized. What's going on, lady? Hello? Hello? Hello,
Hello?
ma'am? Yes, ma'am. Please go straight to your point. What do you got for
Hello?
Bakanga today? Yes, what do you
Yeah.
have for the great Bakanga?
Are you getting me?
Yes, I am getting you. What do you have for the great Bakanga?
Yeah, Bakanga, I'm all the way with you, but I think sometimes you are extremely arrogant to
My
your.
arrogance is necessary. My arrogance is necessary. You have to understand, my sister, who I am dealing with. I am dealing with people who were indoctrinated, and they were not indoctrinated lovingly and peacefully. It was beaten into them. So there needs to be a certain level of what I would call arrogance, of what I would call forcefulness, in order to deliver them from that twistedness. You are an
Okay,
African
then
woman.
Okay,
You
back
know how
then.
we are raised in Africa. We are raised in Africa with the cane. So I am bringing them a mental cane. This is a mental cane. This is mentalization, Bakanga mentalization. That's what I'm doing. And I understand that I do possess that and I'm doing it intentionally. There is not a single word, there is not a single aspect of my behavior which is not intentional. So I appreciate you noticing it, but just in case you were wondering, it would not change. This is part of the strategy. You can't tell a doctor how to do his work. You know what I'm saying? This Bakanga is a word doctor, manipulator of
Uh,
words,
yeah.
going into people's brain and doing
All,
verbal surgery.
all you've said is well understood. I understood you, but just most of your followers, they want to learn, they want to change, they are trying to discover, trying to learn, and all those things. Some of us are so confused. Give all the audience the permission to speak so that others could learn. You
Let me ask you
understand?
let me ask you a question, my sister. There's multiple ways of learning, right? The type of learning that goes on in Bakanga is the same type of learning when a criminal gets caught and you take them to the police station and the police people begin to ask them questions. When the policeman is asking you a question, he's not asking you to tell him a story which is not related to the crime. The crime here is that you believe. Anybody who believes comes here, that's a crime. When I begin to interrogate you, I need for you to stay within the bounds of that interrogation. Sister, what you want to learn is you want to learn how the mind of a person who believes work, right? You cannot really
Well,
learn any information.
calm down, calm down. I know you know it all. I'm here. I'm always following you up. I always listen to your broadcast or whatsoever how they call it. I always listen to you, but I just want to listen because I'm still finding myself. I just want to know what other people think. What they think about blah 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 blah. I'm on your side because I'm questioning this system. I'm not sure. I've got to myself at one point that I don't really know. But when people who are more into the system, when they ask a question, give them the audience to express themselves so we could learn. But when they want to
Sister,
talk,
my dear sister, I
you are
hear
just
you
all
now.
over the
If
place.
you
You
if
just
you
talk
watch
all
my
over,
every
all over, all over,
show,
all over, and
if
nobody
you
can
watch my
listen.
every show, sister, if you watch my every show,
Yeah,
you
I
see that I
always
do
listen
fluctuate.
and I watch
On a day
time
like
to time
this,
because I don't
listen,
have credit.
sister, on a day like this is the format of the show. If you come on some shows, I just have discussions, right? Regular discussion, we just talk. But let me tell you, let me give you a little bit of advice because I detect a problem. Right now, my bacangalization antennas are working and I'm detecting something from you which I must give you some warning. The
Okay.
last thing you want to be is a person that goes around looking for the next good thing that you can hear that will make you feel like you're learning. The only way you're going to learn is if you put yourself in a room and you start thinking. You will never learn anything in this world when there are other people. That's why when you sit in a classroom, you're not really learning. You're just collecting information. When you go home, you study. You study on your own. Listen, sister, you don't want to learn. You want to study. Studying and learning are two different things. You understand? When you listen to me,
Yeah.
you're just collecting information. It doesn't matter how I'm talking. The things I talk about will trigger thought in your brain. When you go home, find a quiet place, take a pen and a paper, begin to write down the things you heard, and then begin to process it. The most
How
amazing
can I
thing
write
about
that?
you, sister,
How can I write down? How can I write down the things I've heard when you don't give permission for others to express themselves?
because sister, because you're not here to listen to other people. If you're here to listen to other people, when they come up, go and follow them on their page. You are here in the Bakanga land, so Bakanga controls everything, right? I understand what you're saying. I do understand what you're saying. But listen. The most important thing you are getting from my show is not what we are talking about, is how things are going. Ask yourself, have you noticed the behavior of these religious people? Have you noticed that the reason why I argue with them is because they argue with me? Have you noticed that I'm not the one who begins the argument? I make my rules very clear from the beginning.
Yeah,
It's just that religious people are used
your
to
rules are very
religious
clear
people
from the
are
beginning.
used to
Your
having
rules
their
are
way,
very clear
sister.
from the beginning.
Listen,
Oh God.
sister. Listen, sister, my behavior is necessary because when a religious person approaches you, they never approach you from a perspective that they are wrong. A religious person is a person who thinks that he is absolutely right, not because he knows, but because he believes. So when they find a person like me, there would be confrontation. That's why you notice that even no matter how badly I behave, they react in the same way. And that is my point to you. My point to you is there is nothing for you to learn from religious people or religion. There's nothing for you to learn. If someone comes up here and we're not talking about religion, you will notice that my behavior is not the same. You know what I'm saying? You say you have been watching me, so you must understand this. My strategy is necessary for what's happening. I cannot talk to them gently. I cannot talk to religious people gently. Most of them that come up here, they have already been triggered emotionally. So what I do is I take that emotional energy that they have and I give it back to them tenfold. It makes it, when they go home, they don't forget me. They think that is what will wake them up from sleep. If you want to understand this world, my sister, you will not understand it by listening to people on the internet. I promise you, you will not learn anything new by watching people. You're just getting information that you don't understand. You notice that I always
So
ask people,
where should we learn from?
you will learn by beginning to know yourself. Let me ask you, sister. Let me ask you a question. Why are you a woman?
Okay, I'm a woman, and I grew up in a Christianity family. And at some point in life, it wasn't working out for me. I fell sick. I was so ill, and I prayed. I all the things. So I started questioning things. They say Jesus came for the sick
Sister, with all due
Yeah,
respect, sister, I understand, but that's not what I asked you. I said, why are you a woman?
I'm a woman because I was created a woman.
Who created you?
Because I was born a woman.
Do you now see the
I
difference
was
between
born with a
learning?
VJ.
Sister, wait. Do you not see how you have just learned something? What did you just
Tell
learn from
me,
this little? What did you just learn from this question I asked you?
open my eyes.
I asked you why are you a woman, and the first thing you had to say was
I'm
because
a
I was
woman because
created.
I was born this way. I was
Sister, wait
born
now. Let
to
me
be
listen, sister. Let me bring your attention to what you're supposed to learn.
okay.
When I asked you why are you a woman, you answer me from instinct and you say because I was created. But when I said who created you, and then you thought about it, then you realize, oh shoot, I wasn't created, I was actually born. Now you have learned that you were not created, you were born. Birth and creation are two different things. Something that is born is not created, just like something that's created is not born. Those are two different things. You are not the product of creation. Human beings are not the product of creation. Human beings are born. That's why we are beings. We are human beings. We're not human things. We are not human things. Only things can be created, things. But a being has to be born. So you need to now ask yourself, what is birth?
Okay, so
That is how you learn.
let me ask you a
I wish
question.
I had the
Can I
time
ask
to
you a
go.
question? Can
No,
I
sister.
ask you a question, sir?
Okay, go. One last question because I need to go to the next guest.
Okay, yeah. Why do you go on live?
Because I can.
I'm speechless. I had another question, but from what you just said, you just put me to the extreme. So I don't know what to I really don't know what to say. Because
Sister, do you
I
know what
was
you
thinking your platform was meant to, because someone like me, I know I'm already out of Christianity. So I just want to, not that I'm out, but I'm a little bit poor because of my family. My mother, like now, my mom just opened my room because I'm talking to you, my room door, and be talking to me. I just want to get my place. So when you have a platform, a big platform like this, and you don't allow people to talk into your platform so they could learn and they could know, and you just want to say whatever you want to say, it's not fair, mister.
Sister,
Yes,
life is not fair. Did you know that?
I know.
If you want to learn, stop looking for what's fair. Thank you for your time, okay? Come back next time. And if you want to learn, go and watch my channel, my videos. I have a lot of information on my videos.
I watch your channel. You are so good. I've been watching it.
sister,
You're so
it's
good.
not that I'm
Thank you,
good.
sir.
My
Thank you,
sister,
thank you,
let me
thank
tell you a
you.
secret. Sister, let
Please,
me tell you a
thank
secret.
you, thank you
It's,
for talking to
it's
me,
not that I'm
for
great.
giving.
Sister, I'm not great. If you can understand me, it's because you are wise. You see, my information is like noise. It's your brain that is doing all the work. If you are able to understand my information to the point where you say I'm great, that means you already know everything that I said. So I was just reminding
Yeah,
you. So
but
I am more like a reminder.
yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So thank you
So
so
guess
much.
what? I cannot
Thank you
even
so
say
much
that
for
I cannot
permitting
even
me
say
into
to you
your
that I'm more
platform,
intelligent than
for
you.
giving me audience, Thank you so much, but please, I just want to beg you, sir, please, I'm begging. I'm using my two hands to beg you. Sometimes be patient enough for people to give their own ideas so we could listen to and get their own side of point. And before I go to this point, I listen to both sides and I go to this point and I'm still struggling. I don't know what is happening to me. I don't know what is
Don't
happening.
worry, sister. I wish I could cater to you, but I'm catering to a broader audience, right? Right now there is
Yeah.
chaos. But Bakanga is still in the point in his journey. I haven't even established myself. I'm still beginning. This is not even a
The
platform.
great Batanga,
Listen.
the great Batanga. Thank you,
Uh-huh.
sir. Thank you. Thank you for
Listen.
giving me your
In the
platform.
future,
Thank you, sir.
on the future, you see me on CNN, you see me on Fox News, you see me everywhere.
Yeah.
My time has
The
not
way
even come
to pay,
yet.
you know, all the
Uh,
paysan, the way to pay, I not say the paysan, or they pay you the way to.
uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yes.
And
You
look, if
understand?
something
Say the
happened to me,
paysan, or they pay
if
you the way
something happened
to.
to me,
I the wait.
then it's
I
up to
want
you.
people like you. I like to lean around people like you. I need
Uh-huh.
people like you to grow
Uh-huh. Thank you.
mentally. They say that there is a wait a forbidden knowledge. I want to know because I know you have acquired a lot. I will need for lead
Sister,
to
if you
people.
want more forbidden knowledge, let me give you another secret. If you want forbidden knowledge, go to your village and look for the oldest man there and ask and talk to that person. Thank you for your time,
Papa,
sister. I appreciate
mommy,
you.
they don't die. Oh, man, don't die. Daddy, grow up, mommy. Oh, they don't die. People in my village now are 76. Daddy, grow, get 100 and something, 90 something, 100 and something for a day. Then they go church, then they do so. But today, present as I
Because
village, I be
Satan can't afford you now.
akunge. I be
My sister,
akunge.
now you come out southwest. You come out southwest.
No, I be Bamenda akunge. My
Uh-huh.
mommy na
So
Bamenda.
you be
My
my
papa
sister.
na
You be my sister,
Scottish.
so as well with the talk. I've been a bad boy now.
Well, Papa, God give God give you. When I say God, you understand the God. God
I
give you grace
understand
to
you.
continue to do
You
it.
see, me and you fit talk because our brain don't settle. I know what you
Yeah, you
mean.
don't settle, Papa.
Uh-huh.
You don't settle.
Thank you.
And every way
Thank you,
they
mommy.
can pay. Any
Thank
day
you.
she don't. I hear say the backhand they if they are the wrong or even I didn't empty skin. I wash. I
Uh-huh.
don't hear. I the common empty skin
Uh-huh.
come
You know
because no,
what you
Papa. You have
go
enlightened a lot of us. You
follow
have
me.
done.
Look, my
You
turn
have
of
done your own
account.
share of humanity.
You know what your mama you know what your mama tell me. Mama tell
No.
me say time when they be born me for Shishang Hospital for Kumbo. Doctor
Yeah,
say for
Papa
mama
Menda.
say, doctor say tell mama say you don't born the future president of Cameroon. I said, look,
No.
what you with me I want bring for there? What you with me I
You
want
are
bring
so
for there?
pure. You be so pure for being a politician. Politician, no be
Oh
as
no,
they'll
sister, I'm
corrupt
not a
you.
politician now.
They'll
I've
corrupt
been
you.
a bear. I've been a
Condemn
bear. I've
you.
been an absolute bear. I've been a chief. I know you do politics,
Yes,
that chief.
I agree that one. I
Uh-huh.
agree.
Uh-huh. I am the fun of Bakanga land. Thank you so much, my sister. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Pa. Thank you
I'll
for giving
follow
me
you back
audience.
because
Thank
you.
you, Pa. Thank you. I'm
Uh-huh.
grateful.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Have a nice day. On
I
the
had
next
to, I had
day.
to, I had to go this length, y'all, because this is my sister right here. This is my sister. This is my beloved sister from
Yeah, the
Cameroon.
great
This is my
Bakanda.
flesh and blood.
Me any
Yeah.
day. Look at you see my address. Now that any day can pay. Hit me. I go start. I go make all noise. Me. I start to. I start to
Follow me.
Amazonia. All
I
that.
will do am just because I use them. Thank you. Go for the next guest now. Thank you. I
All right,
appreciate you,
Papa.
man.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
the great Bakanda. Thank you, Papa. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes. You're
Good
welcome.
night.
Good
Yeah.
night. What's going on, John? What you got for me, sister?
What's up? So, I want to ask you a question real quick.
Go ahead. Go
Um,
ahead. Hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 100,000 likes. Hit that like button. Go ahead. Go ahead. Ask your question.
so can you explain to me how the oldest skeletons on the earth are Black women's skeletons?
Maybe because out of all the people that have been here for a long time, No, it's not necessarily that the black woman's skeleton is the oldest, but that her skeleton is the oldest that survived. So there might have been older ones that have already turned to dust, because even bones can turn to dust. Some bones just last longer.
That's
So
what
it
the
has a lot to do with diet and the chemical compositions.
and it has a lot to do with getting vitamin D, right? From the sun.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm not sure of the exact nutritional or biological aspects of it, but I do know that bones contain calcium and iron. And you know, iron can last for a really long time. So, I mean, I'm not even sure the accuracy of that information, right? It's not like I've ever seen a black woman's bone. But what I'm saying to you is that what relevance does that have, my sister? I know you're a black woman, so that helps you mentally.
No God. Yeah.
So how does that? What's your main point when it comes to the subject of today?
My point is, you said there is no God. That's what you have written there boldly. And have you ever heard of parthenogenesis?
No, tell me, what is it?
So that's just like the natural creation of life without the male species. So basically, I do believe there is a God. I believe it's a main source of life, and we all have that main source of life within us. I don't disrespect religions. Like if you're Christian, Muslim, whatever, if you believe in a higher power, that's all up to you. I'm not conformed to no religion, but I do believe that there's a God, and I do believe that started with the black women. And I believe that, you guys are here to serve us.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
How does time start?
I'm sorry?
Does time start out of nothing? Because without time, there's nothing, right? Can you have anything without time?
Time doesn't exist. Time doesn't really exist.
Okay, good.
Are you talking about just calculating
So
when the
if time doesn't exist, that means that nothing can start. Sister, check this out. If time doesn't exist, that means that nothing can start. Because starting is a measurement of time. So if time doesn't exist,
but you were just asking about, is death a bad thing? But you're talking about starting a time. Death doesn't even exist.
Sister, I'm trying to address your mentality, right? You said to me that you believe there is a source, you believe there is a start to all of this, and I told you, where does time start? And you said to me,
I believe that it's a start to all of this. I believe it's always been here, but it's been taking different forms, and it's going to continue to take
do you know what that's called? Do you know what that's called?
A soul.
No, that's an infinite regression. That means that nothing is absolute, and there is no source. There is no beginning, and there is no end.
The whole source. The source is all connected. Every galaxy is connected. We're all connected.
Sister, hold on. I think I noticed a discrepancy in your thinking. What is the definition of the word source according to the English language?
The definition?
Yeah, what does source mean?
Something from which everything comes from or flows from.
Okay, so let me look it up for you so we're not confused, right? This is the definition of the word source. A place, a person, or a thing from which something comes or can be obtained. Listen carefully. A place, a person, or a thing from which something comes or can be obtained. So something cannot be a source unless it is a place, a person, or a thing. Do you understand that? And you can't have a place, a person, or a thing unless you have space, time, and matter. And you can't have space, time, and matter unless whatever that source is also has a beginning. And if a source has a beginning, then that source also has a source. So that source is not a source. It's just a transformation.
And you see? To me, all it sounds like is a snake in a small glass.
No, it sounds like a circle.
Because you're thinking
it sounds like a rope.
So small.
It sounds like a circle. It doesn't sound like a snake. Listen, I really hope you understood what I just said to you right now. The definition of the word source is a place, a person, or a thing. So listen, sister, I'm not trying to insult you or anything. I'm giving you perspective.
I don't take it like you're trying to insult me. Like I'm coming to you from
okay, good. What I'm telling you is that words have meaning, and don't make up your own meanings if you really want to know the truth about the world.
Oh, I know, and I know what spelling is too. Like, it's actually spelling putting a spell. out there with the words that you
No,
say.
sister, no, sister. That's not what I'm talking right now. Right now, I'm not talking about anything supernatural or superficial. I'm literally talking about simple English, like just talking, like just communicating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Me and you right now, we can understand each other because we didn't make up the meaning of these words, and we both went to school and we learned the meaning of words. The
But
word
it
source.
is someone who did make up the meaning of certain words.
That's correct. And
And I'm talking
that
about on a
person
more
made the
spiritual
English
level.
language so that we can use the English language as a tool. For example, let me give you an example. Someone makes a hammer, and you cannot use a hammer as a nail. No matter what you believe, no matter what you imagine, a hammer can only be used to drive things in. Now you can use a hammer as a weapon, but that's not what that person designed it for. So if you use a tool in a way that it wasn't designed for, you go against the design of that tool, and that tool might not be able to help you the way it's supposed to be. Language is a tool that human beings have designed in order to communicate in a standardized form, in a form that is standard, right? So me and you don't get to make up the meaning of the word because somebody else already has. So we borrow those words so we can exchange ideas. If we go making up our own meanings, we could never ever communicate.
But that's the
Never.
problem. A lot of people don't really know the true meanings of what they're saying, especially
That is why I'm asking
because
you right now.
the
The
American
only meaning of
language.
the word source, sister, check this out. The only meaning of the word source is what the English language says, not what you say or what anyone says.
But like I was saying, most English words have multiple meanings, and they come from words that's not even English.
It doesn't matter. If you
So
are
when
speaking
us
in
not
English, it means
believers
what it
talking
means in
about
English, sister.
how Jesus' name is translated in the Bible, and I'm not even Christian, but I understood what he was saying, because all it says in the Bible is I am that I am, and that is translated in Hebrew.
Sister, I am that I am is not a name.
The way Hebrew is, if you
Sister, I
translate it
am
through
that I am is
the
not a name. And there's
okay.
nobody today that speaks Hebrew the same way that was spoken thousands of years ago. If Hebrew was a
Exactly,
language,
but a
it would
lot
be.
of the English words are deriving from Hebrew words.
No, ma'am, I'm sorry to tell you. Most English words come. English is a
From
Latin
Hebrew
based
and
language.
Latin,
Latin.
both
It's
of
Latin.
them.
It's Roman. It got
Okay.
nothing to do with Hebrew.
All right. Well, listen, I have to go get my kids, so you just enjoy
All
the
right,
rest of
please
the
go
day.
take care of your kids. Hey,
Yeah.
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Are you with your kid's daddy?
Huh?
Are you with your kid's father?
Look at that. I was just curious. I was just curious, man. I wasn't trying to come at you like that. I wasn't trying to come at you like that, sister. Listen, y'all, let me tell you the biggest discrepancy in religion. Religious people they think that they can make up their own meanings for words.
I could help you with one thing today. Stop making up your own meaning for words. Please. If you speak a language, you don't control that language. Make up your own language if you want to. If
Your own meaning for words. Make up your own language. Invent your own language.
Hey, Bakanga, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, brother. Please go straight to your point. You have
Yeah,
less than 1 minute. I have a lot of guests in line.
my point is this, right? So, if our forefathers, right, they worshipped something, now they've moved away from African spirituality to Christianity. What's wrong with that? What's wrong? Even though God does not exist, but why can't we just worship what we want to worship? What's wrong with
Thank you.
what's wrong with delusion? If you look, wait, let me finish my point. We've been through so much. We need hope, right? Because clearly there is a need for us to believe into. Our ancestors did it. They believed in something. There's always these stories. My question is, what's wrong with that? If we need that to hope, to go through life, because life is hard for everybody, right? What's wrong if we actually say, you know what? Sure, if it's not true, but it just helps us go through life, and we need it. So what's wrong with that? What's the sin in that? It doesn't hurt anybody.
Well,
Man, you already asked the question. You don't have to ask it 10,000 ways, 10,000 times. Let me tell you what's wrong with
Listen,
it.
bro, you are hard on your life, man. I just had to make sure that you are clear with the question. That's all.
I heard you. I heard you. Let me ask you a question, bro.
All right. So what's wrong with that?
Before I answer you, what's wrong with being a slave?
What's wrong with being a slave? It's just you don't have freedom. It sucks. You'd rather not be a slave, really, if you can help it.
Okay, good. If you believe in a God that you did not invent, you're a slave. So I'm asking you a question. If you believe in the religion that you didn't make up yourself, you're a slave to whoever made that religion. Period.
Okay. Wait,
if you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, you don't get it.
Okay, wait. But if you were born a slave and then you invent a God to help you go through life, is that bad too?
If you are born a slave and you have a God, that means that you're guaranteed to stay a slave your whole life. You could be free. Listen, bro. Listen.
No,
you could be free. You could be free if you start believing in God, because a belief in God is what makes you submit. A person who doesn't believe in God has no reason to submit. That means you will fight for your freedom.
Wait, no, but hang on. Do you know some people that actually are not born slaves? You know that, right? They're not Christians, but they find themselves in like extreme hardships, and then they started thinking, oh man, what do I do? And then they come up with the concept of a God to help them go through those hard times. It helps those people. For me, I'm just saying, like, is that wrong? Like, for me, it's not
that
wrong,
is wrong.
bro.
That's wrong. And let me help you first of all.
Yeah.
When it comes to black people didn't worship anything. Okay? Worship is a 100% Eurocentric idea. What black people did was we coexisted in harmony with everything around us. So anything that has use to us, we will give it its own place among us. For example, if we have a river where the whole village goes and drinks from that river, we will begin to treat that river like it's a person. We'll give that river respect. So we'll begin to associate different things and different aspects of our being. We'll even celebrate the river. If we had a tree, if we had a tree that gave everyone fruit and food, we will also celebrate the tree. We will create different personifications and entertain ourselves with that. It was an entertainment system. But as far as worship, we did not worship, neither do we submit to any type of gods or deities. That is a Eurocentric idea.
No, Bakanga, we did. What about our ancestors? Like, didn't we worship our ancestors? Not only that, but also like voodoo and all that stuff. Like, that's worship of the dead.
Voodoo is mental and herbal science put together. It's African science, bro. Let me tell you something. You have to understand that we are melanated people and we don't really wear clothes because the sun is not our enemy. The more we don't wear clothes, the more we interact with the sun. We don't really need shoes because the dirt does not kill and destroy us, right? So our cultures develop in that way. Our cultures develop in a way that will make sure that nature does not get destroyed. So we did not have that natural inclination to develop technology that destroys nature or other natural things. We were more like caretakers. We're more like gardeners. Our technology and our way of thinking is that way. So we spend a lot of time trying to understand why animals work the same way, right? For example, if a disease comes into the compound and that disease is killing a bunch of humans, but it doesn't kill the cows. We begin to ask ourselves, well, why did the cows have immunity? Then we begin to observe the cows. We notice that the cows eat this certain flower that's on this certain hill that only grows at this specific season. So we go and get that flower and we start putting it in our food. The next year comes around and only half of the people who died. So we go back again, we look again, we notice that the cow, when he eats, he only eats this amount. He doesn't eat too much. So we get the dosage. That is how African science developed. It became known as voodoo because guess what? We studied every animal around us. Every animal, bro. We knew how to solve all our problems by copying our environment. And we use different rituals to celebrate the fact that we got this knowledge and information. We use metaphors to describe our happiness towards it. When the Europeans came and saw it, they called it witchcraft, they called it black magic. And yet, when you go to the hospital, they give you a blood transfusion. Isn't that blood magic? Don't you think that blood transfusion is blood magic? And yet when a woman is pregnant, you go to the hospital and they cut her open and give her a C-section. Isn't that witchcraft? Isn't that witchcraft? And yet when someone doesn't like you, they get a gun and come and break into your house. Isn't that wickedness? Is that worse than witchcraft? Think about it, man.
No, okay, wait. One final question before I step down, because I know you've got a lot of guests. So if we, two questions actually, wait. So if our religion or our way of practice was so great, so why did we get rid of it? Like, why did we not continue?
We didn't get rid of it. We didn't get rid of it.
Bro, what are you talking about? Like, Africa is like we are half Muslim and half Christian.
No.
What do you mean, no? It's the truth, isn't it?
No. We're not half Muslim, half Christians. No.
I'm saying now, like, half of
We
us.
We are one quarter people who are confused between Christianity and traditional African beliefs, and we have another quarter of the people who are confused between Islam and traditional African belief. That's why you notice that when you go into Islam, the way Africans do is different from the way the Arabs do it, because Africans have their own traditions that they cannot really get rid of. They don't want to get rid of. So they find a way to merge the two. And that's what's creating conflict. The same thing with Christians. Listen, bro, you don't see Americans going around and say, I rebuke you in Jesus' name in the street. Or when it's election time, they begin to pray and say, thunder, fire. Have you ever heard an American say, thunder, fire you? Americans don't talk like that. That's African culture. That's our tradition. That's how we do things, where we come from, right? So you have to notice that the Christians in Africa are really not Christians. They are Africans who have been Christianized. They can't really practice Christianity the way they want to, because they are still under the influence of African traditions. Every African still has their village tradition, their village dance. All those things are demonic. Are they not? They even have their village language. So you see, Africans are confused. The problem with Christianity and Islam is that it's got us so confused and so divided. We cannot unite to build a nation, to build a civilization for ourselves. We need to get rid of those beliefs so we can see what we actually do have in common. And then if we want to practice those religions, we can practice those religions. But only after we have properly defined ourselves. Most Africans are confused what they are. They don't know if they're Muslim or if they're black. They don't know if they're Christian or if they're black. The white man is not confused. The white man knows he's white. And guess what? He made a system where you got white privilege. Whether you like it or not, you're not going to come into his system and get better benefits than him. You got to be crazy. The Chinese man has done the same thing. And now he has risen to the top of the world. But the black man is doing what? Father, in the name of Jesus. In the name of Jesus, I command every evil spirit.
wait. Final question then. So if we get rid of all these religions, what do we replace it with? I mean, if we get rid of Islam and do we go back to the ancient voodoo worship?
No, if we get rid of this religion, the first thing we're going to notice is that we don't lose our morality, we don't lose our good behavior, we don't lose our principle, because our principles are actually more natural to us. Our morality and our principle are already in our tribal languages. You see, every tribe has a code of conduct already, right? It's not Islam that really makes you a good person. It's because of where you come from. That's why you believe that you're not going to steal, you're not going to kill, you're not going to murder, because that's just how your people have always lived. When you get rid of Islam, you no longer have an Arab behavior. You no longer have the need to try to be like somebody else. So you can now define your own image, and you can now focus on science and technology. Science and technology is what we will replace all those fantasies with. Let us build machines. Let us build machines, bro. Let us build machines machines in our own image. Let us write computer codes that are coded in our tribal languages. Bro, do you think that if you can build computer codes and create mathematics, what is mathematics? Mathematics is an algorithm. It is a process of thinking. It is just one way of thinking, bro. There is multiple ways of calculation with numbers. Chinese mathematics is different. In fact, even the algorithm that we use for AI today is not the same as the mathematics you learn in school. Algebra is different from mathematics, right? Arithmetic is different from mathematics. Calculus is different from mathematics. Trigonometry is different from mathematics. Why do we Africans, we already had a way of doing things. And this is what I'm telling Africans today that you don't know. The algorithm that was used to build the pillars that we call today the pyramids, because pyramids are not pyramids. If you dig the ground under the pyramids, they are huge pillars, more than 200 foot tall. The pyramid is just the top of it. And if you go into the Sahara Desert, there is a lot just like it, bro. It shows that something happened. There is some truth to the story that water flooded the Mediterranean at some point. The whole of North Africa and the Mediterranean was once underwater. Once was put underwater by something. And what that water did was the water brought sand, and it covered an entire civilization under the sand, bro. The pyramid is just some of the pillars that are sticking out of the ground. If you go into the pyramids, you will keep going down and down and down and down. Bro, you will have to dig out all the sand in the Sahara to find what I'm saying. That civilization was so advanced, bro. It is what we think that heaven is. They had cities of gold. The streets were made of gold. They had glass. They had electricity. What we call witchcraft today is the remnant of that technology, bro. Being able to disappear, being able to dematerialize yourself and go to a solid object and then rematerialize yourself.
Man,
Being able to,
yeah,
being able
I don't know.
being able to wirelessly project your awareness, like what witches and wizards do, right? Being able to insert yourself into someone's neurological network and literally affect the way they think from inside consciously. That's the same thing as going into someone's dream. That is why the Europeans have called their science research. They are researching. Most people don't even realize it's right in front of you. They are searching for something that was already here. And every European technology is reverse engineering. It is all reverse engineering. They are reverse engineering whatever they find. That is why you notice that every mathematical formula is named after a European. Every discovery is named after a European. Every place in the world has to be. When they had power, what they did was they erased the history of the whole world and rewrote it in their image, including religion. All those gods of old were human beings. Bro, that civilization was so advanced. The kings and the queens and the nobility lived like gods compared to the regular people. They had extremely long lifespan. Something happened in this world. Something significant happened. Human beings like us, we are not the top species of humanoids. There are other humanoids that live longer than us, that are bigger and stronger than us, that have a higher IQ than us. Whatever happened.
Bro, wait, sorry, bro. I hear what you're saying, but my logic, right? Just naturally, I'm questioning, like, if we were so great, right? So why did we get defeated? Because that's what what's happening right now.
I'm gonna tell you the simplest secret, bro. It has something to do with the sun.
Huh? What do you mean?
Are you black?
Yeah, bro. I'm blacker than black, bro. I'm blacker than you.
When you step out of your house, do you think about the sun? Do you think about sunscreen? Do you think about any type of protection? Do you think about the dangers of stepping out into the sun? Does that cross your mind?
No, to be honest, not really.
There are some human beings in this world that they can't step out of their house unless they think about it, bro. It's a real problem. I don't care how rich they are, bro. Donald Trump, he can't leave his house, bro, without thinking about the fact that, oh shit, I might get sunburned.
Okay.
You don't have to. Have you ever wondered why you don't get sunburned?
To be honest, I know obviously like about melanin and all that stuff, but I've never really cared, to be honest. It's just not been like a
How
thing.
can something so little as melanin give you such an unfair advantage over different humanoids? How can something as magnificent as melanin that can shield you from solar radiation only have one utility? And not only is that, but you are pigmented inside out. So even your blood is pigmented. Your bones and your skeletons are. A human being that is black has the ability to break down sunlight energy the same way as solar panels. So naturally, if you fed yourself enough sunlight, you will live longer. You will be physically stronger. You will be more athletic. Listen, bro.
Well,
whatever it is, listen, hold on, bro. Whatever it is that made us be where we are today is a lack of education. So at some point there was a disconnection, right? So yeah, I am suspecting the human factor. Wherever you had human beings, like I said, we were not the dominant species, bro. There are other species of humanoids, okay? So it's not like we were dominant, but we were powerful because we had our natural affinity, what we call witchcraft today. There's some type of witchcraft that they say is witchcraft of the blood, right? The reason why it's witchcraft of the blood is because we have the natural ability to control elements when we are properly educated upon what we really are. If you notice, bro, in the world today, every scientific fact about black people is not done and researched by black people. It's not. Black people don't research themselves. They don't do no. Bro, melanin is not being researched by black folks.
Yeah, that's true.
Bro, we don't do no research, bro. We don't know what the hell we are. We only know what we've been told we are. And the white man spent a long time investing money trying to convince us that we were monkeys. And only monkeys.
No, wait. By the way, what you were saying, that's true, bro. I had an experience with my uncle. My uncle, he studies sociology at a university here, and he goes like, oh, so he went to ask for a when he was done with his degree, he goes like, oh, I want to go study Europeans, and then his colleagues were like, what? No, why would an African go study Europeans? And so you should go study somewhere else. He goes like, oh, you're not allowed to study them, but they're like all over our business. So that's true. No, but that doesn't still answer my question though. Like,
if we study them, hold up, bro. I'm telling you, you've caught my curiosity because this is one of the subjects I want to really educate our people on. So the rule is that Darwin is right. What's really going on in this world is an evolutionary process. It doesn't matter if there was an intelligent factor involved. It is still an evolutionary process. And it is going to come down to the survival of the fittest. So the most fit species is going to exterminate the other one, whether voluntarily or involuntarily. Now, the only species that is capable of doing that naturally is us. If black people married every other race in the world, all those other races will disappear. The black man is the only male species that can have a baby, and that baby always looks like him. If the Caucasian man has a baby with a black woman, that baby is not going to look like him. If the Asian man has a baby with a black woman, that baby is not going to look like him. But if the black man has a baby with a white woman, that baby is always going to be black. If he has a baby with an Asian woman, that baby is always going to be black. It doesn't matter. Genetically, we have a natural genetic dominance. And that is not the same thing as black superiority. That is just a scientific fact. We have longevity as a species. So if evolution is true, we are the most evolved. If creation is the true, we are the most advanced. We are so advanced that culturally we became gullible because we were untouchable for a very long time. There was no kingdom in this world that could make war with us. Not the Romans, nobody, bro. Physically, it didn't really take much of us, bro. The world changed, and this new form of technology developed. Projectile types of weapons, and we were slow to it. We're just barely catching up. That's what scares those who rule the world today, bro. What scares them is that African or black-skinned people get access to the full scope of the ancient technology. Because what we will develop is that we will create a civilization that will last another 100,000 years like the old one. We were so dominant for such a long time. Bro, white people have been here for a long time, bro. They've been here for a long time just like us. There's no way to tell who's been here longer. But we used to dominate for so long, bro. It took that long for them to overthrow us. I'm telling you, the entirety of history has been rewritten. The only thing that is left in the African dialects. If the next generation, listen, bro, ever since colonialism, every generation of Africans slowly forgets the dialects. When the generation of African, when the last generation of African forgets how to speak the original indigenous African dialects, we will go extinct. The only thing that will protect us is if we keep our mother tongue, because our mother tongue is unlearnable to those who are not like us, and it still possesses the secrets of that ancient technology. Because our people, bro, we were a type of AI that has the ability to store so much information. Our culture was based on memorization instead of intellectualization. You see, intelligence, as we know it today, is connected to learning, and learning is connected to scripting. You see, some humans can't learn if you don't write down the information for them because they forget a lot. But you and I don't know if you grew up in Africa. You know that in Africa, everybody memorized, bro.
Yeah,
we memorized.
Yeah.
All our languages are not written on paper. You don't go to school to learn how to speak. You memorize everything. If you're walking to the jungle and it takes you one day to get to the farm, you memorize the road. By the time you're an old man, you've memorized more than 10,000 different roads that lead to 10,000 different places, which is literally impossible for a person who doesn't have a GPS to find. You live in a place that is so hostile to human beings, even the flies are not your enemy. There is something about us that we need to relearn. It's not black supremacy. It's just us learning who we are. It's just that we've been inferior for such a long time. Some of us feel guilty learning about what we really are. Now, there's this crazy, messed up stuff that I've been hearing. People talk about, oh, black people are indigenous to America. No, black people are not indigenous to the Americas.
Oh,
when black people came to the Americas, we came to the Americas as visitors. Yes, we helped the indigenous Americans to build pyramids, and they even built more than us. They had cities, right? The reason why it appears as though there is more pyramids in North America is because less of North America was covered under the sand. Go and look at the map of the world and look which continent has the most desert. What you call the desert is a weapon. It's a weapon that kills the earth and turns it to sand. It is slowly spreading. Eventually, the whole Congo, that weapon was designed to destroy the whole Congo. The Congo used to go up all the way to Libya. That used to be all green. That used to be all green.
Yeah. Oh, man. Look, I'm going to say two things before I drop down, right? Number one, look, with the issue of God, I didn't really know some people say black people are indigenous to America. I've never heard of that before. That's interesting. But look, I'm going to look. When I look at Africa, that's like the capital city of black people, right? It's like the main center of black people. There's like what, 1 billion plus black people there. And when I look at that continent, every time I go back home, two things happens. I see what you're saying, that religion is a bad thing because it blinds people. You see, I see it, bro. It's sad, bro. You see them worshiping like a white Jesus and things like that. You go like, bruh, like that's what? And some of them, they're like, you know, spending a lot of money giving to their you see it's wrong. But on the other hand, you see the benefit of it. Like some people are like, their conditions are so dire and they're so bad. You go like, okay, maybe they do need some sense of hope. You know, that's what I'm saying. Maybe we should just take it easy and like slowly, like, you know, people that don't want to believe in that stuff, but let's leave them to their belief if it helps them with their condition.
No. This is about survival of the species. I'm telling you, bro, we're not leaving nobody to their beliefs. We're not. We can't afford to. We are a new generation of African. We are exactly the worst nightmare of those who rule this world because we are slowly awakening. Our species will survive. And we will survive without raising a violent hand against anybody. We'll just survive by remembering who we are. The only way we'll go extinct is if we forget ourselves. We have every advantage except the one like this because we've been very gullible for a long time. The only reason why we got colonized in the first place is because listen, bro, the old African kings used to laugh at the Europeans, bro. The reason why they were trading with the Europeans is just because it's easy to get rid of someone that you don't like. But they didn't really understand the magnitude of what the Europeans were doing to the black people they were taking to the Americas. They didn't understand. If they knew what they were doing, they wouldn't have sold even their worst enemy. They laughed at them. They did not think the Europeans capable of physically dominating them. So they laughed it off until the European pulled up with cannons, bro. And guns. And even when the Europeans put up with cannons and guns, Africans already had cannons and guns. But we still have so much confidence in spears and being able to wield physical strength that we didn't realize that, well, gun technology is increasing. And the more automatic guns became, the more they had an advantage. That is why in 1884, they got together in Berlin and decided to invade Africa officially. But the Ethiopians successfully fought them back because the Ethiopians also had some weapons. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Ethiopians brag about we never got colonized. They are correct. Bro, gun technology, the Arabs and the Chinese were trading with everybody, bro. We could have bought every weapon on earth too. We had gold, we had bronze, we had all the money. We had too much pride though. We had too much pride.
So, all right, I'm just gonna.
By the time we realized what was happening, bro, their missionaries were all over our land. And they started convincing our young ones. And before you knew, the young ones started hating the elders, bro. And then before you knew, now you had all these new movements called churches. And then you started having these things called revival. Before you knew, the young ones started destroying the parents. They would sell out their own parents. Before you knew, they had schools. Before you knew, bro, my dad told me that when they were growing up, going to school was something that their parents would use to threaten them when they were misbehaving, because they knew what would happen to children in the white man's school. If you were black in Africa and they sent you to the white man's school, that means that they were going to beat you. Because the white man they used to beat the children to teach them. And eventually that system never died out. It's still in Africa till today. Someone convinced Africans that we have to beat children in order to teach them. Meanwhile, you come to the Western world, that shit is illegal in school. You can't beat children in school. Have you ever wondered why Africans still beat their children in school? Why it's still legal?
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah. Damn. Now I used to get flogged, man, in school. So I know what you're talking about.
Bro, I used to fight with my dad from the time I was 5 years old in the name of discipline, bro, because I was desperately trying to tell him that he's hurting me, bro. And that's the same is true for every kid that grew up in our generation. But eventually you just got so strong, you took the beating.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, religion is definitely, look, I saw what's that guy? Pope Francis, he did like a tour of Africa, and you could just see he was like kissing the feet of the politicians. Like I could see it, bro. Like they know that people are starting to just have a bit of opposition. That's why they're all like doing all this pandering on the continent. But bro, I don't know, man.
The worst nightmare of those who rule this world is happening. China discovered the secret and the weakness of the Europeans. China discovered that it was Africa. So the Chinese figured, if we develop ourselves and help the Africans develop, nobody can win a war against us. The Chinese truly have a desire to be our allies. But still in the process, they want to have an unfair advantage. The Chinese don't want to exterminate us. They want to gain an advantage, but not from the perspective of colonization.
Well, look, hey, listen, I've taken too much of your time. I'll come back later, bro. Thank you so much, man.
No, it's not good. Listen. For me, it's how the conversation flows that makes my mind work the way it works. And I am talking about these things not so you can believe me.
No, bro.
Don't believe a single word. Not you, bro. To everyone.
Yeah.
Don't believe anything I'm saying. Please.
Nah, thanks.
I'm just telling you a story. Later. I'm just telling you a story which might or might not be true. There's no way for you to know. But what you need to know is that something is wrong with the way we are. Look at it yourself. And if you see what I have seen, then come together with me. Let us develop science and technology in the image of the black man. Period.
Well, man. You see, wait. Nah, all right. I'll let others speak, bro.
Thank you.
Don't believe me. Don't let me entertain you. I will tell you that I'm not lying to you. But you will not know if I'm lying to you or not unless you seek it out for yourself and reach independence of mind. You want to achieve independence of mind. Let us come together. Listen, the one thing those who don't like our race are counting on is the fact that we will never be able to work together. They believe us properly separated. They believe us religiously extreme to the point where we will never be able to come together. If you are a Christian, I challenge you to see beyond your religion. If you can't, then you have done nothing less than assure our extinction. If you're black, I urge you to use your mind. Not to hate white people, not to hate Chinese, but to develop our nations. Not because you love anything, no, because you want to survive. For the sake of survival. I have many more guests in line. I will not give anyone particularly any more than 2 minutes. So go straight to your point. When I bring you up, go straight to your point. No, we are not all one. Isn't it amazing how we see
people going and say we're all one, and yet you ever seen the white folks? You think that the king of England and his people believe that we are all one? Huh. What's going on, man? Go straight to your point.
Okay. So I have a quick question here. I want to ask, you said that there is no God, and you also said that there is no devil. There is nothing like devil. So now, what of those people that normally have this so-called African power to attack the fellow mates? So how will one now protect himself? Because in a sense that if there is God, you have to pray to God and God will retaliate to that person in terms of coming to your rescue. Because you don't have this other African power as the person has. So this person know how to manipulate things and charm you and all sort of things. Because I've been seeing it like literally when I was back then, when I was like small. So I've been seeing it. And so what will now, how will one have to learn this thing to know is himself? Like, you understand what I mean by that?
The first thing that you can use to understand that you don't need to be afraid of any witches and wizards because they don't really have any real power. The only power that they have is the power of science. You can pray to God any day. God will not protect you from poison if someone poisons your food. If you eat poison, you die.
No, apart from the physical realm of poisoning, that one is like literally very self-explanatory.
There is only physical. There's only physical. Everything that's real is physical. If something is not real, is not. If something is not physical, it's not real.
So what if someone manipulates something in terms of charming somebody?
A charm. Have you ever seen a charm which is not physical? Have you ever seen a charm without a talisman? Have you ever seen a charm without a talisman?
Okay, so what of how people like make some this African power of a thing, like people do it now.
Brother, what I am hearing from you is that you are overcome by fear of things that you do not understand. Just like a man who doesn't know how a gun works is also afraid of a gun. Do you think that a charm? Do you think that those charms are different from guns? If someone point a gun at you, will you not be afraid? It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. It's just that they're doing it in the African way. They paint their face. They do all those things. That's all just to control you mentally. But it's all stuff that you can do too. As long as you're not afraid of them, they can't do anything. Bro, look at me here. I've been challenging witches and wizards for a long time. Can they do anything to me?
So what is someone? Because I've recently seen a video how someone walks.
I wish I could keep talking to you, bro, but I can't, bro. It's been more than 2 minutes, bro. Thank you so much for your time, okay?
But I have another question here.
I feel you, bro, but I can't.
Let me ask one more.
Sorry, my brother.
It's not too long now, though. This one has been bothering me. Let me just ask real quick. I will not take up to 10 seconds. So
okay, go ahead.
This one goes like this. You said, because I've been following your show for a while now. You won't mention of how there is no God, and if there is God, it would have been seen and touched. So I want to also reference it to our own body as well, like our own human body. Our brain cannot be seen, but it's still functioning. So does it mean that there is any other aspect of God being into existence, but we don't really know how to interpret it? Because in a real sense, our brain is...
Brother.
Yeah?
Do you have a brain?
I have a brain.
Okay, good. Do you know anybody that can make a good, complete sentence which makes sense without a brain?
No. It's a brain.
Okay, good. So we don't need to argue about brains. People that have brains can talk, can communicate, can exchange information. You're exchanging information. That's all we need to know, that you have a brain. Now, if you are here doing some boo-boo, if you're not acting like Brother, wait. If you were here acting like a mumu, oh yeah, that maybe we would think you don't have a brain. But if you can behave yourself, you have a brain, period. That has nothing to do with God. That's not the same thing. Plus, we have seen dead people that we have opened their heads and we have seen the brain in there. It's there. If you're a human being, you have brain in there. We have seen it. It's not magic. Now bring God here so we can open his head and see if he has a brain. Can you bring God here?
That means you have to leave the physical realm for you to.
Which physical realm? Do you know anybody who has ever left the physical realm?
Like if you die now, you've gone.
If you die, you don't go anywhere, but you go into the ground. Do we not put dead people in the ground? You see them go. Have you ever seen a dead person pack their bags and go anywhere? Those are stories. Stories people tell themselves because they're grieving. Human beings make up all types of stories when they're grieving. You've never seen a dead man pack his bags and say, now I'm going to the spiritual realm. I will see you in the spiritual realm. Let me carry my bag with me. People say hellfire is real. What is gonna burn in hellfire? How can you have fire which is not physical? Isn't the fire that we see is physical? If you have another fire that is not physical now, how is that fire? Doesn't fire need oxygen to burn? Fire in this world cannot burn without oxygen. So this hellfire that you're talking about, which fire is that? Your imagination fire now. You said there's worms. People say some of you said there's giant snakes in hellfire. Giant snakes. Hey! Some say there's demons there. The demons, they don't burn fire too. Fire doesn't burn demons. Yeah. Then you're going to go to heaven. Hey. What are you going to do in heaven? Do you know how boring life is when you don't have problems? Do you know that problems is what makes life to be interesting? Have you ever seen the life of a person who has no problem? You want to go to heaven, a place where there's no problems. What are you going to do? Sleep all day? Oh, you cannot even sleep. If you want to sleep, Holy Ghost will wake you up. You can't even get rest. What are you going to do in heaven? Singing Kumbaya? Kumbaya, Jesus, Kumbaya, Gengele, Kumbaya, Jesus, Kumbaya, Gengele, Kumbaya. Knowing these Africans, knowing the Africans, you Africans, you go to heaven and begin to do it.
So, bro, in the terms of
come and see. Come and see what Buhari has done. Hey, come and see what Buhari has done.
But I think in some way it's not everything that is meant to be.
Brother, your 10 seconds has passed. Look at you.
Done physical.
You have 419 me. You have scanned me of 4 minutes. You said 10 seconds. 10 seconds turned to 4 minutes. You have scanned me, bro. Thank you for your time. Thank you for scamming me. I appreciate you.
There might be a existence of God, but you don't know how to interpret it in your own physical realm. So that's the same thing applicable as brain. The brain doesn't how to show up itself to be functional.
Brother, please stop demonstrating ignorance. We have dead people. Come on, man. We've opened the heads of dead people. We've seen brains in there. The only reason why we don't want to open the head of a living person because we already know beyond shadow of doubt that we'll find brain. What sense does it make to open the head of a perfectly living person? Plus, also, we have actually opened the head of perfectly living people. We have people who have been shot into the head and they were still able to survive. There is a politician here in America who was shot with a gun in the head and doctors went into her brain. We have x-rays. You can x-ray a human being's head and see brain. What are you talking about, bro? Stop acting primitive.
All right, sir. So I just believe in terms of the fire, people working on fire is also a practice as well.
Walking on fire. If you want to walk on fire, wear shoes.
Bakanga forever.
Bakangalization.
Where have you been, man? I missed you. I just wanted to say it's been long. I saw you on
Go on YouTube, man. I have content on YouTube, so
yeah.
no problem.
Oh, it's fine. I'll go check them out. I don't want to take much of your time. I'm your follower. I'm following you. Lead the way, Bakanga. Let's go.
Bakangalization. Thank you, my brother.
Let's go.
Woo. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, thanks. I don't know how to put this. Okay.
There you go.
Go and check us out. I have content on YouTube, so I'm not sure what's going on with this, with my internet. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? Maybe this is my cue to call it a day. Okay? Let's end the show here today. I'm actually in the process of teaching myself Chinese. For me, it's one of my number one priorities. I must know and be able to speak Chinese in the next 3 years. I'm teaching myself Chinese as we speak. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. I'll call it a day here, okay? I'll call it a day here. So everybody that's in line I couldn't get to, thank you for your time. My internet has decided to misbehave. Maybe the Holy Spirit is attacking me on the internet. 1 year. 1 year if you help me, Namisa. If you're going to help me, Namisa. If you're going to learn with me, Namisa, let's learn Chinese. Let's do it. Ni hao. Nah, I don't want to do that. It's very disrespectful to Chinese people if you do their language wrong. So until I get a very good hang of it, then maybe every once in a while I'll say things. No, honestly, I'm very honest. If you guys want, we can learn Chinese together. Listen, I can make my platform. I can do it in a way that we can actually learn it. Chinese is going to become like English. It's going to be a language that you will need to be able to speak. Being able to speak Chinese, Mandarin, let me be correct, right? Oh my God. I need to stop calling it Chinese. Mandarin. Brothers and sisters all around the world, thank you so much for pulling up in Bakanga land. I know that sometimes I do appear to be hostile, but please forgive me. It's just part of my strategy and it is necessary. When I'm confronting people that are so extremely religious, people who believe that they are absolutely right about things that they simply believe and yet they do not know. Please have mercy on me. Forgive me. I will not change, but please forgive me. Endure me. It's the only way. Some of you might deem what I'm doing right now to be bad, but I'm not a fool. I understand the religions in which I'm talking against. I've seen a future that if you should only pay attention, you would also see. This is important, y'all. These methods of communication that we have available to us today will not always be around. We're not always going to be able to talk like this. So I am using this platform as a means to build relationships, real relationships in life with people that are diversely spread around, so that when the time comes for us to help ourselves, we can help ourselves. Y'all, do not ignore little things. Please do not ignore these little things. I know it seems so simple, but don't ignore it. I'm not forcing anyone to be with me, but if you feel genuinely that you're resonating with what I'm doing, we live in the United States of America. Distance is not a problem. We can meet, we can talk. In real life, when we come in real life, there's no boss, there's no leader. It's not my show. Real life is not my show. So it's not going to be a matter of Bakanga is going to be like, don't interrupt me. Nah. When we come together, we're going to talk together. We're going to make decisions together. And we're going to take action together. Please keep your greed away. Keep your ambitions away. Keep your selfishness away. Let's genuinely come together with a pure desire. I don't really care what your religion is if you understand the greater purpose behind what I'm doing. I don't care who your God is. But we need to take advantage as young black people. We need to have our own identity. There is no evil in that. There is no evil for a black man or black woman or for black people to try to build a system in which there is black privilege. How is that bad? We can't keep relying on the works of those who fought and died in the past as though we are exempt from fighting and dying. No, we also need to have our own movements of our own generation. Have we really lost our zeal to see change? If those who came before us suffered and died in the civil rights movements so we could enjoy what we have today, why aren't we suffering and dying for those who are going to come tomorrow to have a greater freedom than what we have? Is it too much to ask for? Listen, many of you listening to me right now are so overwhelmed by your personal issues in life that you don't even realize that you're going to die anyways. All the problems you're trying to solve won't really work. If what you're doing with your life doesn't benefit somebody other than you, you're wasting your time. And whatever you're doing, if it only benefits your kids, you're still wasting your time, because if your kids are well off, but the rest of the children who look like your children are not well off, then whatever your children accomplish is still in vain. The reality is that as black people, we're not really set until we are all set. That's the sad thing, but it's true. We are not set unless we are all set. We don't hate white people. White people should be good. Let them chill. Let them grow. Let them prosper. If they want to compete, we can compete. If they want to fight, we can fight. If they want to laugh, we can laugh. If they want to sing, we can sing. But we don't have to lose our individuality as African descent people, as melanated people. We don't have to lose that. You don't have to lose your Africanness as a sacrifice to get along with a European culture or a Chinese culture. The white people don't give away their... Listen, there are more black people in this world named after white people than there are white people named after black people. That is sick. That is disgusting. That's actually quite literally disgusting. With all due respect to anyone, please, that's disgusting. If a group of people will not name themselves after you, why are we naming ourselves after them? Are we really... What are we? That's kind of sick. And I'm not just talking about black people in Africa. Williams, Johnson, Peterson, all those names that black African Americans give themselves got nothing to do with the black identity. It just reminds you that you were owned by a Williamson or you were owned by a Peterson. You're still the property of the people whose names you bear. When are you African Americans going to start changing names and giving yourselves African names? Let me tell you the beauty of African names. The only thing you need to have an African name is to be able to speak an African language, and then you can name yourself after anything in that language. Most African names, 99% of African names are just phrases in a specific language. 99% of African names are just words, phrases that mean something, not just random. What does William mean? What does Philip mean? What does John mean? You just borrow the name, and you just borrow names that you don't know the meaning to those names. How could you properly identify with a name that the only thing that the name does is remind you that you were a slave? Mr. Carl McKinsey? Mr. Carl McKinsey was owned by the McKinsey family. Your great-grandfather was owned by them. Is that what you're saying? If you are black African American, I am challenging you to rename yourself. One of the biggest things that this generation should be known for is that this is a generation of renaming. Let us be known as a generation where majority of black people rename themselves in their own image. Change your name. I don't care. You don't need to bear your family last name if that last name is the legacy of that your family was owned as slaves. You don't need to. You don't need to continue that legacy, y'all. African Americans, rename yourself. I don't care what language. Rename yourself after something that has meaning. Adopt a name that has meaning to you. You don't need to bear the legacy of a name of your former slave master and think you're going to be free. Souls are not what you think. Souls are not persons. Your soul is the combination of your behavior and your character. So the idea of souls is just ideas. But those ideas describes a person's combined character and behavior. Your character and behavior is your soul. What your character is your soul. How your character is, that's your spirit. So the way you act, why you act the way you act, those are all ideas. Soul, spirit, heaven, hell, God. Those are all ideas that dwell in the human mind. It's all mental, y'all. It's part of your mental health. Change your name, y'all. Listen, many of you Black African Americans, you haven't caught on to this yet. At the end of the day, Martin Luther King still bear the name of a white man. He was Martin Luther King. He still bear the name of the slave master that he was trying to free himself from. How could he ever be free when literally his name was still the very thing that was putting him into slavery? Why do you think Malcolm X changed his name? Why do you think Muhammad Ali changed his name if names don't have power? Does anybody on this show right here, right now know Muhammad Ali's real name? Or his colonizer name, should I put it that way? Does anybody on this show know Muhammad Ali's name before he was colonized? Change your names. I ain't telling you to go take no Arab name. Call your name by something that empowers you. Your name should be something that that people can't even say it in vain. Let your name be a name that people don't just call you in vain. Listen, if you want to find something out about African Americans, just look at their names, y'all. I'm telling you. Listen, my African American brothers have like I always say, you guys have the most potential of any people I've ever met in this world. But y'all got problems too, y'all. You will never find a group of people in this world that act like people who are owned more than my African American brothers. You can tell by y'all's names, and names you give yourself. Y'all be acting like somebody own you. Some of y'all don't realize that. That's slavery. There's still remnants of it. There's still PTSD left from slavery. Mr. Carl. Yes, the same way that African people are suffering mentally from colonization, post-colonial trauma disorder, you guys are suffering from post-slavery trauma disorder. We need to erase that shit in this generation. We need to redo this whole thing. We actually do have those resources. We live in a generation where everyone gets offended. It's time for us to start getting offended, y'all. Listen, it's time for us to start getting offended and letting people know that we are offended. Let's start getting offended when they don't want you to put your dreads on. They say it's not professional. Who the hell determines if your dreads is professional? Shit, according to the African way, having dreads is professional. So if they're gonna give rights to LGBT people, they better let black people put their hair however we want to. They better let us pull up with our traditional clothes, because our traditional clothes, that is our official wear. We don't gotta wear suits and ties all the time. Yeah, it's time for us to start getting offended. Like the LGBT people, they give them their own restroom. Shit. Maybe they should give us our own restrooms back. When I say offended, y'all know what I mean, right? We live in a generation where everyone has soft feelings. Not for real. You can't even talk to people. People just get offended by anything. Christians, I got something for y'all Christians in here. Let me point out to you one of the most hypocritical aspects of Christianity. So I'm going to compare two groups of people that I don't associate with like that. I'm not part of necessarily, right? I'm not a Christian and I'm not part of the LGBT group. But when I observe from outside, I see the same type of thing. Check this out. A Christian who is asking you to respect his religion because he believes it spends most of his time fighting the LGBT people who are asking you to respect their pronouns because they believe it. If you were not born a Christian and yet you believe that you are one and you want us to acknowledge it, why are you mad at the LGBT people if they were not born like that, but then they believe that that's what they are? No, honestly, let's be honest. Think about how hypocritical it is, right? You're not born you're born a man. And then you feel in your heart and you believe in your soul that you're a woman. So you go to the Christians and tell them that, well, you believe in God. Well, I believe I'm a man. I believe I'm a woman. And the Christian is like, nah, your belief sucks. I'm not going to acknowledge that you're a woman, but you must acknowledge that I'm a child of God. How the hell is believing that you're a child of God different from a man believing that he's a woman? How the hell is you believing in a God you can't see is a man believing that he's not a him or a she, but he's a they? If y'all think LGBT people are confused, they are not more confused than you religious people. Because some of y'all religious people don't know which heaven you're going to. If you're going to Presbyterian heaven, Baptist heaven, Jewish heaven, Muslim heaven, Catholic heaven. And that shit is all shit y'all believe. It ain't even like none of y'all ever been there, right? It's just all shit y'all believe. It's just all belief shit. It's all belief. But y'all mad at other people's belief. Religious people are so quick to tell you how you should respect their beliefs, but they don't respect nobody's belief. The Muslims spend their time calling other people pagan. So you're gonna call me a pagan because I believe in multiple gods. But you want me to respect your prophet that you believe in. What the hell is wrong with these people? What the hell is wrong with these people? I don't get it. How the hell are you mad at somebody for doing the same shit you do? You want us to believe that Muhammad is a prophet because you said so? Just because you said so and you read it in the book? Shit. Shit. I believe in my heart that Jesus died for my sins. How the hell is that different from someone saying, I believe in my heart that I was born a woman, but now I'm a man? How the hell is that different? So what you believe in your heart is more important than what another person believes in their heart? One of the happiest things I was happy is when the LGBT people started flipping Christianity and making it in their image. When I was a Christian, I used to be mad. I used to be angry at LGBT people. One time I watched a video of a pastor. He was like gay or something. He was trying to convince us that there was like that it was accepted in the Bible. He used the example of David and Jonathan, because in the Bible it says that King David loved Jonathan more than the love of a woman. Look, when I was a Christian, I didn't want to hear that type of stuff. But now I'm just like, God damn, that shit makes sense. King David did love Jonathan. It even said that he laid with Jonathan. The Bible even said that David laid with the man, y'all. Go and read your Bible. I was like, holy cow. Well, good thing I left Christianity, because I lived the Christians and the Christian brothers and the LGBT brothers to hang out together, because y'all be on the same wavelength. I don't know why y'all hate each other. I don't get why LGBT and Christians even argue. Y'all be the same thing, man. Y'all the same team. You know? Show me a Christian man whose biggest lover is not another man. In fact, you know what? This time to bring up a guest. Let me find me a Christian guest. If you're not a Christian, don't send your request. Send your request only if you're a Christian. If you're not a Christian, I'm taking you down.
Yo, it was good.
What's up, man? Are you a Christian?
In what sense? You know, I follow Jesus, yes.
Do you love Jesus?
Yeah, I love Jesus.
With all your heart?
Yeah. Yes.
Do you love Jesus with all your heart?
Yes. Why?
Does Jesus come in you?
No, why?
Okay, I was just wondering.
Okay, so what's the point? What's the topic?
The point is you love a man, bro. Are you like LGBT or something?
No. Do you love your dad?
No.
So if you have a son, do you love him?
No, I don't love anything in this world.
Wow.
Love is for women and religious people.
Women are gay now, if they love their daughters.
I'm just saying, bro. You love a man, bro.
So what? I don't understand your point.
Are you LGBT though?
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Because I love someone.
Are you a man? Are you a man?
Yeah, I'm a man.
Is Jesus a man?
Yes.
You love a man?
Well, now you're pre-assuming that every love is the same. Why?
Well, because do you have Jesus in your heart?
No, I don't know. Yeah, I have Jesus in my heart.
Do you love him more than everything in this world?
Yeah, I love him, but...
Will you die for him? Do you love Jesus more than you love women?
But now that's a pre-assumption that every love is the same.
Do you love Jesus more than you love women? Yes or no?
Yes, but that's a pre-assumption.
I rest my case. I rest my case. I rest my case.
No, you're assuming that every love is the same.
I don't need to assume. You said it for yourself.
Yeah, because it's not every love is the same.
Bro, you said it for yourself. I didn't say it. You say you love Jesus more than you love women. I'm not, bro. Good job for you, man. Congrats.
Do you
Congrats for coming out of the closet, bro. Good for you. Good for you, buddy.
Bro, listen. Do you love women?
No, hey, bro. We're gonna say the LGBTQC. Add Christian to it.
No, man, no.
Yeah, LGBTQC. We'll add Christian to it.
No, listen, bro. You're assuming that every
Congrats,
love
bro.
is the same. I don't want
No, bro. It's all good. It's all good. Hey, man. I ain't tripping, man. I ain't judging you.
Okay, what's your point, bro? What's your point?
My point is that you love a man more than you love women. That just means that you're part of that community.
No, what?
Yeah, you is. Now, hey, bro, let me tell you something, bro. Do you believe in Allah?
Yeah. I believe in Allah.
Do you believe in Buddha?
In what sense? If he existed, maybe.
No, do you believe that he's God? Do you believe in Shiva?
I don't believe that they are gods. No, I don't believe that.
So you're an atheist too?
No, atheist is...
Yeah, you're a Hindu atheist. You're a Hindu atheist. You don't believe in the Hindu God. Do you believe in the Hindu God?
Atheist is someone without God.
Yeah, and guess what?
You know what
someone without the Hindu God, bro, listen. Someone without the Hindu God is also an atheist, right?
No.
Why not? Someone without God. It doesn't say Muslim God, it doesn't say Christian God, it just says someone without God. And when I ask you if you believe in the God Shiva, you say no, that means you're an atheist.
No.
Yeah, you're an atheist. Not only that, you are LGBTQC and you're an atheist. Congratulations, brother. Good job for you, man. Enjoy your life. Thank you for your time, bro. I'm going to go on to the next Christian.
Oh, my God.
I just wanted to give you the truth to set you free.
No,
Oh, bro. Hey, Batty boy. I beat to you. I didn't even notice it was you. I just looked at your picture now and noticed that it's you.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir. Are you a Christian?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Are you a Christian?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Are you a Christian?
Yeah, very well. I'm a Christian.
Do you love Jesus?
Yes, I see you. Yeah, very well. Yes, I love Jesus.
Do you love Jesus more than you love women?
I love Jesus more than I love myself.
Bro, do you love Jesus more than you love women? Yes or no?
Very- Yes, I love Jesus more than I love women.
So you are gay?
No.
Yes, you
See,
are.
love is
Hey,
no.
hey, hey,
Wait, let
hey,
me.
hey.
No.
Yes, yes, you are.
Wait.
Yes, yes, you are. Don't lie. It's not nothing wrong with you. Good job for you, man. Congratulations for coming out of the
No,
closet.
shut up.
Good
No,
for you.
don't talk
No,
like
no,
that.
no, you
Talk
don't
like
need to
that.
change.
Listen.
You don't. Hey,
Wait.
hey. Is Jesus the
Wait.
man?
Wait.
Is Jesus
Listen.
not the man?
We have
Is Jesus
different
not
kind
the
of
man?
love. The love you have for your mother, a
It does
woman
not
get better.
matter. You love him. You love him more than
The love
women.
you have
Anybody
for
who
your
loves you,
mother,
brother, then you're good.
the love
You
you
must
have
be
for
good.
your mother is
My
different
good
from the
brother, you
love
must
you
be
have
good.
for your wife.
Brother, don't
Man,
worry. We don't
don't just
discriminate between which
use
love.
to draw attention.
Brother, we
Because
don't discriminate which love is
I
which now. Love is love.
keep
You
doing
say you
this
love
to
Jesus more
draw
than you love
attention.
women. For me, that's a problem. Eh? In fact, if I love anything in this world, it's women. Oh, hey, Toto. I love Toto. Who doesn't love Toto? Eh? Brother, do you love Toto?
Do you love your mother?
Brother, no, I do not love my mother. Brother, do you love Jesus more than you love having sex with a woman?
Do you love your mother? The woman
Brother,
that
do you love to be with Jesus more than you love to sleep with a woman?
do you love your parents?
No, I don't love anything in this world, bro. Brother,
See, you
do you love Jesus more than you love sleeping with a woman? Yes or no? Answer my question. If not, I'll go to the next guest.
my friend, you have nothing to say, please.
Then
Just get off, man.
you must be gay. No problem.
Down that route. So then,
Yeah.
what is?
No. The speaker asked me a question before, and he said that I shouldn't bring biology, and I referred to that likewise. And
Okay.
again, according to your scripture you quoted, and according to my scripture, I don't know about your scripture, if there was any such connotation, but there was no connotation in my scripture that explained it, that there was any physical